You got to make a reservation. It's very difficult to get in.
Well, it's okay. I'll use the service entrance. I'll see you at 9.
Welcome
And bienvenidos
to another episode of Service Entrance People. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Hola.
Hola, Pixie. For those of you who are new to the show, just jumping back in, maybe this podcast is for and about the gritty, underpaid, underprivileged service industry workers of the world.
Unite.
We've clearly made some wrong turns in our lives because no matter what, we've ended up right here in the jobs where no matter our talent, our art, our skills, we deal with the infamous Karens and Florida Man.
Florida Man.
And Mr. and Mrs. Von Uppity on a daily fucking basis. Day in and day out, we walk through the parking lot of broken dreams and enter through that specially marked door. You know the one.
The service entrance door.
Son of a bitch. So if you're interested in listening and sharing in the war stories of the industry, or if you're curious as to what us,
the help,
are really thinking, we are going to educate you with stories of the strange, shocking, and hilarious, because laughing is how we make it through our days.
So true. So true. This industry is something we've come to truly love, and although you may hear stories of us ranting, bitching, oh, I gotta work at work, we kid because we care. That's why we dig this so much.
There isn't a thing in this world that we would rather be doing other than, of course, doing this, what we do here. This is more fun.
Yeah.
But second is doing the jobs that we get paid for.
Is it?
No. Also, please do us a favor. If we are not for you, we just ask that you take one for the team and fucking listen anyway.
Yes.
Hate listen.
Rage listen.
Binge it away, because we know that the one thing that is better in this world than a great horror movie is a terrible fucking horror movie.
Let us be that terrible horror movie.
We're here for you, I promise. One last disclaimer. This show, like the industries that we cover, comes with some spicy fucking language, so be forewarned.
Ay, 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 muy caliente.
And look at that.
Fuego.
Woof. Please make sure you are, you're listening, so thank you for that. But make sure you are rating us and reviewing us 5 stars. Leave a review on whatever platform you are listening on. Help us move up those charts.
Yes, a simple share would help. Share it just once. Just share.
Just stick us in somebody else real quick. Just a little in out.
Or if you want to participate by sending us a story, that also helps.
And how do you do that, Pix?
You can do that by going to serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com, or you can go to Service Entrance People Podcast on Facebook, or you can go to @serviceentrancepeoplepod on Instagram and DM us there.
Who's all up in your DM?
Hopefully people who love this podcast. Or the very last is that you can leave us a voicemail. Nobody will pick up, I promise you. It's just a voice messaging system. And no matter what, if it cuts off, we'll edit it so it all flows together just nice and smooth. That's 854-345-7721.
You totally got into your movie phone voice about halfway through that number. That was great.
That's 854
Bring it.
345 7721.
Yowza. And you can also be a part of the show by becoming a producer. Patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. We have multiple levels of sponsorship. All of them come with freebies and good stuff. We have limited edition merch that you get sent out. We have bonus episodes you have access to. And we say your name on the program at the end. So Service Entrance People, our Patreon, patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople.
Sweet.
Quite. All right. I think it's about that time.
Oh.
I think it is time for us to lock the doors, crank up the music, and grab our shifties. For myself, my shifty of the week comes to me from Comstock, Michigan. I are drinking, I should say, a Bell's Amber Ale. Bell's American Amber Ale. And according to it, it's got both toasted and sweet caramel notes from carefully selected malts balanced with herbal and citrus hop aromas capped by a clean bitterness. So hey now, Bell's Amber. I also would like to say that that's legitimately the noise that, like, our microphones are so good. Like, I am miking that. I want people to know that's not like a stock, like, cap opening sound bite. I'm fucking doing that.
Same thing with the
one last week. With
the pouring of the nitro that I did.
That was so fucking, like, it sounded fake, but it wasn't.
And it was so good.
It was fucking damn good. Speaking of which.
So my shifty, now I did a little digging, and I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but I do know it is Artifact Cider Project. But I think it comes from Florence, Massachusetts.
If it does, big fucking ups. Florence, right next to my hometown of Northampton, Massachusetts. So hell yeah, Florence in the house.
Now, I couldn't wait, so mine's already cracked, but it is feels like home, and oh my God, y'all, it feels like home.
Literally, for me, it feels like...
It shouldn't feel like home to you. It feels like... Okay, hold on. Let me take a sip.
For me, it feels like home because JFK Middle School was in Florence, and that's where I went to middle school. So legit tastes like,
Okay, so this is a dry cider, and it is so playful. It's
playful now.
It's playful.
Well then, shit.
It's sweet. It doesn't really have any sort of bitter to it, even though it says dry. It's tart, yet tangy. It's all around. It makes me think of South Florida. And when I first tasted it, like legit tasted it and knew that I was going to make it my shifty, I may or may not have drank 6 of them.
Very nice. I can say also, Florence, Massachusetts is about as far away from South Florida as one could get.
Well, good
so
for you.
So that's very interesting that was the first thing that tasted in your mouth because, fuck, man.
There's so much citrus to it, but it ping-pongs all around, like the flavor. It's wonderful. It's delightful. So I had to make it my shifty this week.
All right. Awesome. So, yeah, cheers to you, Pix.
Cheers.
All right. And hey, you know what? That right there, that's a sponsorable segment of our show, folks. If you out there want to sponsor any part of our Shifty of the Week, hit us up. Get all up in our DMs. All right. Now, before we jump into the episode proper, a couple of housekeeping.
Ooh, little housekeeping.
We haven't had to do housekeeping for a couple weeks now. A number of weeks we haven't had to, which is, I don't know, good or bad.
I don't know. We'll see, because I don't know what you're holding right there.
Okay. You know what I just realized is that I'm literally wearing my Northampton t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, you are.
Like, presumably I dressed myself, and I just looked down. I was like, oh, shit, I'm wearing my Northampton t-shirt.
We can all agree that today was not a good day for my brain, so
yeah,
sorry I didn't notice.
And the first part of our housekeeping actually has to do with my brain.
Oh, okay.
So last week on the show, we inadvertently, we may have caused something to happen. We may have spoken something into existence. I was having a rough time with the braining last week, and we joked that, maybe I was having a stroke.
Yeah, we joked about it a lot, like an uncomfortable amount.
Yeah, upon listening back. So, funny story. I didn't actually have a stroke, but I did sort of come close, and I did have a minor cardiovascular event.
Yeah, it landed our sweet Boomer in the ER for like 10 hours.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't my funnest time that I've had, but I do want to say, reasonably, I'm okay for me, I guess. And mostly just want to say thank you so much, because a lot of folks said a lot of nice things and shot up, some good thoughts and some good vibes to me as I was immediately recovering from that. So I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate it. It means a lot to me, and hopefully I won't die.
Yeah, don't do that, because I don't know how to do some of the things on the show yet.
Yeah, I still haven't taught you how to edit or stuff like that, so we'll get to that. But again, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much, folks. It's it means a lot to me. And again, I go see the doctor again this week, and hopefully we'll figure it out, and it won't happen again.
I forbid you to die, Boomer.
Heard, Pix. Heard.
What's next on the docket?
So last week, we had a listener story from Nico on the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
And I got really wrapped up in the story, and Nico talked about working there and like a manager who was old enough to be her mom, or his mom, I guess. Old enough to be the mom, and that like that manager had a daughter, and the daughter was there. So,
I remember.
Right.
I vaguely remember.
Right. So I got really wrapped up in the story, and I was like, for the love of God, like, come on, man. Like, I need explanation for this,
You were
please.
super invested.
I really was. And sure enough, thank you, Nico, because Nico sent us an email with a follow-up. So would you like some
please
actual
share.
follow-up? This is amazing.
This poor kid humored you.
This is awesome. This is a good fucking listener right here. Nico says, "Hola" from the Jersey Shore.
Hola, Nico.
And the reason I said the manager is old enough to be my mom is because her daughter is not that much younger than I am.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains
All
it.
right. And no, the daughter does not work there. She just hangs out with her friends and uses her mom's discount, comes in for free drinks when she's hungover. Also, she's underage. LOL later, Nico. So, Nico,
Aw.
thank you very much. That's fucking cool that you humored me on that. You played into my sense of wonderment of your story, so thank you.
Cheers, Nico.
Okay, so this week, episode 19 of Service Entrance People. This week's episode is entitled, "You're Not Fired, I'm Fired." Which, wait, but yes.
I'm fired up.
Yeah. We were gonna subtitle it "Do I smell toast or am I fired?" But we figured that would be probably a little too stingy,
soon.
too stingy.
Too soon on the stroke.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure that I'm out of the woods yet, so we'll not court any more disaster with that. So this week's episode is all about the crazy ways in which people have gotten fired doing our jobs.
Or if they just blatantly can cop to doing something stupid.
Yes, just brazenly fucking dumb to get themselves fired. So we have our first one. We're starting off actually local to us.
Are we?
Yeah. This is coming from Bluffton, South Carolina, and
Okay.
the email is
that where we are?
something like that. The email is called "Don't Even Know What They're Doing."
Oh, okay.
Many years ago, we hired a line cook, had a decent amount of experience. He started out on steak night.
Steak night tonight.
Every night should be steak night. I'm just going to whip that on out at you. So the first steak he did was undercooked, so they refired.
Mm-hmm.
Second one was undercooked, so they refired.
Use your fucking thermometer. Oh my God.
Third, undercooked.
Ah!
Fourth try, wait for it. The cat was still mooing when it came off the grill.
Did you not turn the grill on? Is the grill not on?
The front of house manager goes to the head chef and tells him to kick the cook off the line. Like at this point, that's 4 cuts of meat.
So many people are eating steak.
Oh my God.
Because you
That's
fucked up so bad.
I will tell you exactly. Those are like the happiest fucking servers in the goddamn world.
Yeah.
At this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
they're like, no, that guy's great. What are you doing?
Why are you making Reggie leave? We love Reggie.
You know what? Actually, put him on fry. Just put him on fry. Let's see what he fucks up there. I could use some, maybe some frites.
Yeah.
Just get it all in there.
A little tempura action. Who the hell knows?
Yeah, we'll mix it up some. So the cook gets kicked off the line, and his new job was to replace the guy that wrote this here email on a saute station. It's the email was not
Titled.
yes.
Okay.
The first order he does there was for a side of asparagus. or-
Asparagus.
That's what I call it. So he put it into the hot pan,
Mm-hmm.
added enough oil to deep fry them.
So he basically was on the fry station.
He turned on the stove,
Oh, dear God.
oil escaped, hit the flame, and started a fire.
Wow. Wow, line cook.
It gets better. So what's the one thing that they tell you not to do at this point? What's the one thing?
Don't grab water.
Mm-hmm.
Don't throw water on it.
Right.
Obviously.
Yep.
Cover it with a pan. I
Baking
wouldn't say,
soda.
yeah, baking soda, but I've seen idiots like swat it with a towel, but that's not as bad as water.
Okay. So the next 1, 2, 3, 5 words.
Tell me he threw a paper towel on it.
He went to grab water.
Oh, so you set the kitchen on fire.
Well, no.
Not?
If not for my head chef stealing the cup,
Whoa.
we would have had a bigger fire. Just like that, gone. Turned out,
Mm-hmm.
all of his previous jobs with all this experience were at real places, but his supervisors were friends who lied for him.
Wait a minute. So
So he put all of the references
And they were backed up like they're real.
Except the person that they wrote down, like,
Here's my reference of who worked there.
of my manager. My manager's Chuck, but Chuck really wasn't the manager. Chuck was just his friend. And so he was
okay.
like, hey, if they call, let them know.
You work there and you're the manager.
Right.
Ay.
Total time of employment, 3 hours.
So he couldn't fucking cook.
Nope.
And you were brazen. Dude, the cojones on you to be in a kitchen, a real kitchen?
See, and that's where we come in on the whole, like,
Motherfucker.
yeah, our job is simple, but it's not easy, you know? Like, that's one of the things that people think, like, how hard is it to do your job, blah, 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 blah. Which, yes, there are aspects of working in this industry, in the food industry, when we're talking about it, that are not rocket surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But easy and
Simple
are two very different things.
Yeah,
It's not easy to do.
I'm sorry. I'm still stuck on the fact that you just had with just my brain hurts, the confidence to swagger in and be like, no, I totally can work in a kitchen. Like, I would be terrified.
Well, he did work in and around kitchens, clearly.
I don't care. I work in a kitchen every day when I'm at home. That doesn't mean I could, prior to my kitchen experience, going into a restaurant and being like, I can totally do this.
Yes. Something to be said for irrational confidence.
I mean, there's something to be said for having confidence, but there's another thing to be said for having blatant arrogance.
True.
And this is where your folly was. I mean, you're lucky you're alive, dude. But maybe it's not lucky for the rest of us. I don't know. Maybe life sorted that out.
Yeah. I feel like
sorted out.
Yeah, there could very well have been some Darwinian principles in there.
All right. Well, let's not get too dark on that. Let's pop on over, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. My listener comes from Hanover, PA, and the email was titled "Fired Without Knowing It."
Sweet.
So it says here, Hanover, PA, Snack Food USA. Which
That's a nice jingle.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't love
Hanover, PA, Snack Food USA.
Who doesn't love snack
All right.
foods?
You're welcome, Hanover, by the way. You're fucking welcome, tourism board.
I don't know that they need it, but I mean, whatever.
Clearly they do.
There are like so many canned goods and shit there.
Snyder's of Hanover. Some mean fucking pretzels out of that
Yeah,
joint.
that's true. That's true. When I worked in that region, I was living in Baltimore, but I headed towards there, and I worked at McCormick Spice Company.
Yep.
I went home smelling like curry like every day. Anyway, back to the email. It says, I was working at a pointless job trying to justify my existence and not piss off my mother-in-law, who I had to crash on the couch with because my moron husband was lying to me about paying rent when he, in reality, wasn't working at all and had no money and was hiding in a bookstore. Wait, let me finish.
Oh, it hurts.
This next
I have
thing.
So many questions.
Wait. It says, sorry for the run-on sentence. I know I'm better than that.
Oh my God.
Okay, now you can comment.
Okay. I feel like now is the time to put in a disclaimer with this.
Okay.
When you write us your tales, first of all, I appreciate it. You are the engine that makes this podcast go.
Yes. Without you, we can't. We have apparently, like our haters say, we have no content.
We don't have haters. When you're writing us, assume that I am going to get irrationally involved in whatever backstory is told, because I literally want to do the rest of this episode on pissing off the mother-in-law that they were staying with because the husband was at a bookstore and had no job.
Yeah, apparently she, I don't know. They say that they had no money. Oh yes, and he was hiding in a bookstore. It says hiding. I don't know if he was reading, working, attempting to work.
Living there?
Living there? Well, no, he wasn't living there because this person was living with the mother-in-law, which would presumably be his mother.
Right, but it doesn't say what the husband was doing.
Or her mother.
Because the husband was lying about paying rent.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my God, I'm so many questions. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay, keep going, because this isn't the point of the story. But again, please, people, you have such good stories. I want to weave your rich tapestry of thought into our program.
I think what Boomer is trying to say is that be prepared that we're going to ask questions.
So many
and
questions.
like Nico, we want you to reply because
God.
we become irrationally invested because we want to interview you. So with all of that in mind, let's continue.
Okay.
So, hiding in a bookstore. Sorry for the wrong sentence. I'm better than that. This useless waste of space. She's talking about, or he's talking about their husband.
Okay.
Kept taking my car while I was at work, returning it with no gas, one time with a flat tire, etc.
Nice.
So I kept missing work. One day I head in and talk to my boss, and he is super understanding. He said, all marriages are difficult, and clearly you need time to get your things in order. I agreed with him. On my way home, it hit me. Was I just let go and didn't notice it? I was fired, and it didn't hit me till I was in my car driving home.
Wow.
I left my husband a couple months later, got a place with a roommate and a new job. Life was better for it. Hope this was useful. Keep doing good work.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much.
Also, you didn't leave your name, and I wish you had a name because I want to say, I'm so sorry, honey. So I'm just going to say it like that. I'm so sorry.
We'll call it Snyder because it's Snyder's of Hanover.
Okay, I'm sorry, Snyder, because that blows.
Wow. Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
That's a new one.
But also, like, what a way to fire someone. Like, it's totally you know what? I think we should break up because you deserve better.
Yeah, that's that's up there with the it's not you, it's me.
Yeah. No, really. Like, this is good for you. This is a
I'm
thinking
thinking about
opportunity.
you.
Yeah, it's a prime opportunity for you to discover what you want. It's a time for you, girl, to focus on you. Did you say go fuck yourself?
No. I was gonna say go feel yourself, but that's even worse.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Damn. I've got an email here from Jacob in North Carolina that's entitled Grand Opening / Grand Closing. I was hired to work at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 weeks, I went back and forth with them about when I was supposed to start. They told me I was to start on a Friday and then contacted me on Thursday to tell me that I was to start on Monday.
Okay.
And then contacted me on Monday before I left my house to tell me not to come in until Wednesday.
Okay.
So it kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back.
Wait a minute. I want to interject for a second because you did with mine. I wonder if this person has the job or they don't have the job. Like, are you hired or are they just fucking with you?
Well, this is a short one, so I will
Okay.
tell you. We'll get right to.
Okay, Cut two.
Finally, I show up on the day that they have told me to for my first day of work. I walk up to the door and notice all the lights are out.
Oh.
I pull the door. It's locked.
Go to the back. It's a service entrance.
Does just that. Walks around. Pulls. Locked. Walks back to the front.
Craigslist killer. It's a Craigslist killer. Run!
I peered in like we do on Halloween when we're kids looking to see if somebody's
Oh
home.
my God. Through the window?
Yep, exactly. With the hands up to the
Yeah.
eyes. Empty.
Oh, no.
So it turned out I was hired for a restaurant that never even opened.
Wait a minute. What?
Mm-hmm. So
Craigslist killer?
no, just they were going to open this restaurant and then didn't.
How in the...
I
What?
I would guess it would have to be a solvency issue. Like we thought we had the money to do all of it.
And then we just didn't?
Or we didn't realize how much
80% of the staff quit before we started? Like, we didn't have a chef?
Jacob
Or a register operator?
equipment.
Maybe we
kitchen
didn't have a
equipment.
register.
Kitchen equipment is not cheap.
But
But yeah. So
Oh, yeah, it was a restaurant. So, yeah.
Yep.
We didn't have a flat top. It's key. It's key.
But I could see that, I guess, happening.
I mean, that's weird.
Right?
Spooky.
Yeah. So hopefully, Jacob, you're gainfully employed somewhere
Yeah.
at this point. But Jesus, that's a bitch.
That's a weird one, Jacob. Like, I would be more worried I was about to be murdered.
Always be wary of the Craigslist killer, guys.
Yeah. All right. This one comes from Massachusetts.
Hey!
And it's from Amanda.
Amanda Hug and Kiss? Guys, I'm looking for Amanda Hug and Kiss.
It just says Amanda or Mandy. I don't know what you prefer, but it said Amanda on the email, so I'll leave it at that.
Amanda, you're a fine girl.
No, you're going to get that stuck in my head now. All right. So she says, I worked at a fast food restaurant. The new guy came in for his first shift, which was an evening shift in the drive-thru.
Okay.
He literally posted where he was and what he was doing on social media.
Well, if it's not on the socials, it's not real. We all know that.
Oh my gosh. What was he doing? Like taking selfies in the fucking with the headset on and like, oh my god.
So if you don't get, if it's not Facebook official, you're not officially hired.
Do you remember when we saw the kids that were photographing themselves throwing the trash out at the restaurant dumpster?
Oh my god.
They were like
making the fucking peace sign duck face
they were
while throwing out refuse.
Yeah, it was like baby's first time taking out the trash. It was
rather adorable.
It was very strange. So that's what I pictured this fucking chucklehead doing. So he told his buddies to come in and that they would get free food.
Yay.
Then, this is just awesome. So this freaking idiot decides he's going to start screwing up orders on purpose so he can hand his friends free food.
Oh, it's a genius idea. They'll never catch on.
Yeah, like I only posted it on social media and there's like an obscene amount of people here that aren't paying.
And they're all my friends.
And they're not paying. And they're referring to me by my first name or my nickname.
That's brilliant. Seriously, again, to a kid's mind, that's like the perfect crime.
What an idiot. So the manager called the police and he got arrested.
That went hard.
But also fair. You freaking idiot.
It's theft. That's theft, right?
Can I tell you a little mini story?
Just between us girls?
Just between us girls.
Let's do this.
So I was actually sad because one, I didn't think of the story for this episode until just now. But two,
we don't have to tell people that.
But two, I lost my two favorite employees because of this.
Because of social media posting or
no, because of theft.
Fake theft ordering?
But it was the weirdest theft. So.
Was it of a marsupial?
No. I was working at a, one of those prescription drug type places.
A pharmacy?
Yes.
Is that the word you were
Yes, I was
searching for?
grasping for.
Okay.
But it was also a convenience store. And we tend to throw things out well before it expires because by law we have to.
Those are just suggestions.
That's by law, we have to get rid of those things. So when we throw out all of these things, they just sit there even though they're perfectly good. So you get those people who are like the, I forget what the name is, but they're like the vultures of society where they eat the garbage. Like Charlie Manson, the fucking
dumpster divers?
Yes, but that's not what they're called.
They're called dumpster divers.
They're not called, are they called freegans? I think they're called freegans. Anyway.
There's a fucking name?
Yeah, like
they're just dumb. Sorry. No.
Yeah,
no. We're vetoing this. We're vetoing this right now. You're a fucking dumpster diver.
But it's been around forever, since like before Charlie Manson.
Nope,
so,
you're a dumpster diver. That's it. Nope.
Well, anyway, so these two idiot children employees that I adored because they were idiots were very actually hardworking for me, and they got busted on the security camera for stealing food that wasn't expired from the dumpster, because while it was in the dumpster, it was still technically part of our inventory.
No, absolutely. I worked at a place where the same thing, where it's so that people don't throw something out and then pick it out of the dumpster and be like, oh, well, it was in the trash, so no.
I bet I could understand that with a TV, but not like
everything.
A thing of fucking Haagen-Dazs.
Nope, 100%. If it's still on the property.
Or Twinkies.
Nope. 100%. If it's still on the property,
whatever,
it's still their property until it gets hauled away. That's totally a fucking thing.
I think that's so stupid when it comes to food.
Yeah.
When it's a perishable, I feel like.
Look, if there's one thing that as a nation we learned from the pandemic, it was watching the Tiger King and knowing about Walmart's expiring meats and what's still good and what still isn't.
Listen.
All right.
Listen.
Joe taught us that as an America.
Okay,
we learned
I'm
that.
gonna just ignore Joe for a second and say, could you imagine how much we could solve the starving food issue just by like using those fucking quote unquote perishables to, I don't know, maybe give a homeless person like a fucking snack?
I still think that end of night at restaurants, there should just be.
Yeah, there should be lines,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I see it in Savannah. They take the little Togo boxes out to all the homeless people out there.
I've worked at some nice places where, bread is a thing.
Yeah.
And you have all that bread that's in the warmer.
Oh,
that
don't
at the
tell me
end
they
of the
throw
night-
it out.
Yeah, they fucking dump it right out.
Okay, let's move on because I'm going to get upset. I'm sorry. I know me.
I know you too.
Yeah, and I've been homeless, and it fucking sucks.
I am going to then dive into.
Dive into?
I'm going to dumpster dive right here
Uh-huh.
into my own personal history.
Oh.
Now, it wasn't me, but it happened at a place that I worked while I worked there.
It wasn't me. It was a friend of mine.
No, because it's okay. I was working at a radio station in Ohio.
You were?
I was. And at the time, okay, this is going to date me. So at the time,
That's a new
Yeah.
change.
it was when 8 Mile was coming out. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So I worked for an alternative rock station, and record companies, for those of you who don't know the whole thing, back in the day when radio used to be a thing, record companies would market singles to different types of stations because they want the most exposure for it, right?
Mhm.
So Interscope, which was the record company that had the Eminem, was marketing Lose Yourself to alternative rock stations to try to get it out there because it was in the movie and the whole thing. So one of the ways that they get songs on the radio, sorry to fucking burst bubbles here, is they'll say, hey, if you play this song, a couple times a week, we'll give you something,
Like,
like we've got a trip to go see the Foo Fighters in Japan.
oh, wow.
We'll give you
I was thinking
that-
free hat. That's like way better than a free hat.
No. It's usually like, or like we'll give you, you need station T-shirts. We'll buy 1,500 T-shirts for you, like
That's
shit
cool.
like that.
Okay, that's
So
at
it's like a
least-
barter type
Yeah,
thing, right?
it's worthy.
So our station entered into an agreement for something stupid, for like stickers, for like printing off of radio station stickers, to play the Eminem song, the Lose Yourself song.
Okay.
All right. Now, at the time, the overnight position, the midnight to 6 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
was a recorded shift.
I just went from 6 to midnight.
Dirt merchant. That was a recorded shift because the guy that had to be in the building, there was like 8 stations in the building, and he had to kind of go and make sure all of them were on the air and didn't drop off.
Okay.
So he recorded a show for our station.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing morning drive at the time. So one day I get phone calls
Mm-hmm.
from listeners. Now, I was the music director at the time, as well as the morning drive guy. And so they were like, oh man, like, I think that's messed up what nameless jock was saying last night. Like, what are you talking about?
What did Nameless Jock say?
And they were like, dude, like, the guy was seriously talking shit
Mm-hmm.
about playing that song and said, this is stupid. We're a rock station. I can't believe we're playing this. Call Boomer and call the program director and complain because this is crap.
Oh, what?
So, first of all, that's like...
You
the
look
fuck are
so
you doing,
upset
man?
right now.
What
You
the-
look like you're transformed back to it.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Well, first of all, do you know how many times I had to fucking play Nickelback? I didn't complain.
Oh,
I had to play fucking
no.
Creed. I didn't complain. I didn't go on the air and be like, this is
Oh.
fucking murdering my soul one note at a time.
Not
It did.
Nickelback.
It
Not
did.
Nickelback.
But I didn't fucking say it because I'm a
Oy.
professional.
Because I'm a goddamn
I'm a
professional.
God fucking damn professional. But here was the real mistake on this, and this is why he got fired.
Mm-hmm.
Had he just done that and talked shit
And played it anyway?
and played the song, talked shit about it, and left it at that, what are you going to do? You're going to be like, hey, somebody called in and said that you were talking shit. Like, you shouldn't do that. And then he can go, well, I didn't really say that.
Did he say racist, horrible thing?
No, he fucking said it on a recorded track
Oh God.
that was not, he could have also done the track and then deleted it,
Yeah.
and he didn't. So there was a fucking recording that I went in through, because
Oh no.
after like the third or fourth call of people telling me that he had said this, I was like, when did this happen? And so I fucking could go into the night before, find where we played that song,
You left evidence.
and then
you left
fucking
evidence.
played it back.
Oh, you're stupid.
How's that? Kid never worked in radio again, by the way.
Stupid.
How fucking dumb are you?
Apparently very.
Like, this is 20-something years later, and it still fucking blows my goddamn mind that he was that fucking
Wow.
stupid.
That's pretty brazen.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a good one. That fucking,
Well-
my God.
Speaking of being an idiot and brazen, we have a story here. This is from Tammy
Hey, Tammy.
with an I. Sorry, Tammy. I it's not you, it's me. It says, her email's entitled, Boy Was My Face Red.
Oh.
So this comes to us from Jensen Beach, Florida. And it says, I was working at a photo place.
I was working in my lab late one night.
Being in my early 20s, I had the genius idea to call out because my friends wanted to go to the beach with their cute kittens. Who in their
Wha-
right mind wouldn't want to see that?
Can kittens go to the fucking beach?
Well, she says, like, who wouldn't want to see that? I was just thinking that, like, I want to see.
I don't think kittens are
I
beach appropriate.
I've seen video of, like, that cat with the life vest on totally, like, swimming at the beach.
Whoa.
Yeah. I was actually like, I'm sure we couldn't take Tom because he's hairless, but Omar might like it.
Wow. Cat interns. We may have a
Beach
radio,
episode.
a radio field day. And by that I mean podcast.
So who wouldn't want to see that? Question mark, exclamation point.
Apparently we would.
I know. She says, I called out with a stomach bug. However, being a young idiot, I drank a good bit that day,
Well,
and
of course.
and with my pasty pale self passed out right there on the beach
There you
after
go.
my friends went home.
There it is.
I woke up in the evening when the air started to get cool.
Burned to shit, right?
Hold on. So the air started to get cool. The next day, my whole body was
Yep.
tomato red.
Yep.
And my boss says to me, man, I really hate it when those stomach bugs give skin burns.
Oh, those are the worst. I would have been like, you know what? You're fucking right. That sucks. Maybe it's a parasite, boss. You ever think about that? I should get checked.
So she says, I thought he was just razzing me. So I worked the whole day. And before I go home, he said I was fired. It wasn't funny then, but now in my 40s, it's so laughable.
That's fucking awesome.
There would be a ton more drunken mishaps before I sorted myself
Oh
out.
my God. See, why would it take you more? Why would it
Because
take
she
you
was in her
more?
20s. She said she
Still.
was in her early 20s.
Still, the first time I got shit-faced, fell asleep on the beach, got fucking burned after lying that I wasn't at work, I wouldn't do that again.
Well, she didn't say she passed out on the beach again. She just said that there were a ton more drunken mishaps before she sorted herself out.
Wow.
All I have to say is, for me, Tammy, I appreciate your honesty. Like, that's actually really cool.
Wow.
Also, I think it's a dick move, but hilarious that he made you work the whole day before firing
Oh, no, that's
you.
brilliant. That's just fucking brilliance. That right there,
That's like teaching you a lesson. He
That-
dad moved you.
that's some fucking high-class managerial fucking skills is what that is. That's just being, okay, we could be down a person today,
Yeah.
or I could fucking get it all figured out, switch the schedule around, make sure I have coverage for the rest of the days today,
What
and
if
then at
she
the end
had
of the day, be like,
chemical burns
"Fuck
on
you."
top of the other burns? Like, that's terrible.
Well, whose problem is that?
Oh, God. You're mean.
I'm just thinking. I'm coming at this as it from the manager standpoint. I'm just saying, like, I think that's a brilliant fucking piece of managering right there.
Well, anyway, Tammy, thank you for writing in. We thrive on listenership and the write-ins, so we appreciate it.
All right, so I've got a couple of quick hitters here
Okay.
that are also from the Boomer archive. First one dates all the way back to the time of Blockbuster Video.
Aw, those were good times.
They were great times.
They were simpler times.
They were very simpler times. Or Friday nights, going to fucking walk around and see what's in the Blockbuster for what to rent. And that was like half of the whole fucking fun of the night, is going to the Blockbuster and spending 2 hours there.
Can I tell a cute story?
Jump on it.
Okay. So I used to go with my high school sweetheart to the Blockbuster. But I
Kissy.
I had blue hair and I used to
And he had blue balls.
No.
The end.
if only. If only. I used to wear weird ensembles.
Used to?
Yes, I do still wear weird ensembles.
Okay, Mitch.
Like-
I still do too.
Life's too short not to dress crazy.
By the way, I have to tell that joke because it's Mitch Hedberg's
Yes.
a genius, and the joke is I used to do drugs. I
still
do
do.
drugs, but I used to
to.
too. So
And that's very true for
Rest
me.
in peace, Mitchie.
Rest in peach, miss. Anyway,
hold on.
I called him Miss. Yes,
You
I'm
said
aware.
rest in peach mist.
Yes.
Is what you said.
I might be drunk. Shut up. Anyway, the most notable thing, though, was the blue hair and the fact that I refused to wear shoes.
It's right there. Like the first one. No shoes, no shirt, no service. Yeah, that's your number one.
So listen here. Not when you're 5'2", adorable, and stacked in Florida.
You skated by a lot.
I did.
Didn't
I
you?
did. What was funny about this was I was working in a head shop for my very first job.
I was working in the lab late one night. Yeah.
Yes. And the guy who was working with me was quite cute. And we were talking as we were closing up the shop. So we started talking about crushes. And he's like, I used to have a crush on this girl who used to come into the Blockbuster. She had this bright blue hair. Her boyfriend was huge. He was like 6'5". The boy telling me, or gentleman telling me this, was like 5'5". And he's like, anyway, she had this blue hair and she always like dressed crazy and she had no shoes ever. And I was like, that was me. And then my boyfriend from the video store taking me on those dates showed up. So of course he's like, oh, you were my crush all throughout high school. And I'm like, that was me. And then I dated him.
Look at you. We do need to keep a counter of how many
There's
I'm
so
Pixie,
many.
I'm so cute stories that you like telling.
Because I'm old and fat now.
You're neither of those things.
I'm old.
You're not old and you're
I'm
not
getting
fat.
old.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Validation. Validation.
Exactly.
Validation.
I just need something to say I was. No, I'm not famous.
We do this podcast.
Go ahead. So, Blockbuster, simpler times.
So at Blockbuster, at the one that I worked at in Northampton, Massachusetts,
Where you worked?
where I worked, at the place that I was employed, there was a 3-ring rule.
Okay.
So if the phone rings,
Mhm.
have to answer it by the 3rd ring. That was, I don't know if it was corporate policy. I feel like it was.
Yeah.
I am not good with phones, with talking on phones.
Me either.
With any of that shit. Like my dad, God love the man, he's delightful,
Mhm.
but that motherfucker will answer the phone for nobody. Nobody. And now with cell phones where he can even tell who it is,
Definitely all the fuck you.
like back in the day, you know, phone would ring and it was a fucking roulette. You never knew.
Yeah.
And so
you
he was
just
just
took
like,
chances. Can
yeah.
you imagine people answering the phone not knowing who it was?
Yeah, you just no.
We took our life in our hands every
fucking
day.
time. Every time. And now, no.
I mean, you could tell your friend to call you at 6 and it would be your mom's friend instead. And you're like, ah,
You were supposed to be, yeah.
shit, you were supposed to be my friend John.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But legit, like my dad calls for no one, answers for no one.
Mm-hmm.
Just no fucks given. So that's, you know, as a young, impressionable male, there's my male role model.
Mm-hmm.
So working at this store, the phone would ring and I would find whichever video was behind the counter. If I was behind the counter and fucking run that thing, I'm like, oh, gotta put this on the shelf. Gotta, yeah.
Gotta return some videotapes.
Exactly. And I absolutely
Patrick Bateman the shit out of that video store.
fucking almost got the hammer for fucking not answering the phone.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to make my sister, who's like 4 years younger than me, call for pizza. Pretty sad when you're a 10-year-old asking a fucking 6-year-old to call you in a pizza.
Pretty sad when you're the 10-year-old having to call in the pizza, but we're not going to get into
No,
your
let's childhood.
feral childhood.
Do you have a next one?
I do have a next one from when I was working in Florida.
Okay.
All right. And I was working at this large store that had all kinds of different things. You could go in and get all kinds of different things.
So like a convenience store?
No. Like
a super shop?
Yeah, sort of like a super shop. Think of like a giant like fucking mini mall, but like all the same place.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I know
like
what you're talking about.
It's weird to describe. So this so I'm a man.
Like a Trader Joe's.
No, more than that. But it's
But less than Walmart.
Right.
Okay.
As management, we had access to the cameras, right, to the security system. And there was the loss prevention office who had access to even more cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And one, always make friends with LP.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Always, 100% every time, always make friends with LP because this one woman who I forget what department she worked in, she fucking had some sort of tiff that went on.
Okay.
And so they brought her back to, talk to her about this malfeasance.
Mm-hmm.
She exploded.
Okay.
Fucking screaming, yelling, quits,
Mm-hmm.
walks out, and as she's walking with her back turned to the desk, throws up the double fucking bird.
Ah, you mentioned her in an earlier episode.
Right. I got to see the fucking videotape of that.
Yeah, you told me.
That's one of the best fuck you.
I wish I had that recording
me,
to do for our videos, our little promos on Facebook.
Yeah. It's one of those things where like you think it only happens in movies.
Yeah. And it totally happened in real life.
And I saw it.
That was a
and
baller
fucking,
move.
That was amazing. Lastly, though.
Yes.
I have to tread so lightly with this one because it's still very fresh.
Oh,
okay?
Tender vittles.
And you know some of this story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I worked at a nice upscale resort.
Mm-hmm.
And the general manager there, who is a great fucking, he's a mess, but he's also like a good human being.
He's a great mess.
Like underneath all of it, like
we have
legit,
those people that are messes,
right.
but you're like, I love this mess. This is my mess.
Right. Legit, he's a good dude, except for the fact.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So the man at the time was in his like mid 50s.
Mm-hmm.
General manager of a large restaurant that was doing like $8 million a year.
Whoa.
Right. Huge fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
Lots of staff, including scores of interns that would come in through, right? From all across the world.
Whoa.
So there was one wave where there was a 20-year-old English girl.
Okay.
Who was an intern, attractive young girl.
Yeah.
Right? This guy had a son who his youngest kid was like 21.
Okay.
Okay. So this girl, this English intern, is a year younger than his youngest child.
Okay.
All right. So you start to hear the rumbles, right? Oh, like he's making looks at her and the restaurant rumors.
The excuses like, oh, he's very friendly to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
like,
she's his
ha, ha, ha.
favorite.
Yeah. And so, you hear that, but it's a restaurant. So it's all fucking, you're like, yeah, okay.
It's all hearsay till you catch someone with someone else's dick in your mouth.
And even then it's a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. Cause you were probably drunk anyway.
I
can't believe I said that. God, I'm so glad my father doesn't listen.
Oh my goodness. I leave there and I go to another outlet and I continue to hear these stories. Like, oh, did you hear? Like, they literally like coming out of the walk-in together with no real reason to have both been in the walk-in together.
That's either you're getting yelled at or you're totally getting touched in your no-no square.
Right. The rumors persist and the rumors persist.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sounds like he was persisting and persisting.
Well, when she got into the car accident, in his car,
he immediately was disinterested.
He was not in
the car?
No.
Oh, there's a problem.
She was in his car alone, drunk, I believe high as well, but I'm not going to slander and say for 100% sure. But the reason that she was in his car was absolutely because they were, in fact, on the side fucking dating.
Oh.
So
she didn't steal a car.
And didn't steal it.
And he didn't lend it to her except because they were dating.
That comes out. Obviously, the job's fucking gone for him.
Yeah. Yeah, you fired, man.
Because dating a underage intern.
Talk about fuego.
However, here's the kicker, okay?
Yeah.
The kicker is she was going to get deported because she was an intern
Oh, shit, from England. Yeah.
working on a visa. So the only way for her to stay would be to get married. Mic drop.
Oh, does
Mic drop.
Did he get engaged?
Mic drop.
He got engaged?
Mawied.
Now, how is he going to make her stay 21? I'm curious.
I don't know if we have the technology yet.
I think we have the implants and the liposuction and the Botox.
But that's an awkward, like, you're younger than my youngest child, you're my bride.
Also, all men are idiots.
He wasn't a bad-looking dude.
No.
I will say that. Like,
Oh, you mean the guy with the 21-year-old? No,
Yeah.
he was a good-looking older man.
yeah.
But it's definitely, I'm capturing me a sugar daddy.
Yeah, I don't know how much Asukar is really up in there.
Yeah.
But it's something. It's something, that's for sure.
Something's tying that together, and
Oofa. But
I don't know if it'll age well.
Who knows?
Pardon the joke.
But you know what? If they're in love, who am I?
Aw,
Who am I to say shit?
exactly.
So take that.
Mazel tov to their love.
Boom. And with love, we bring an end to episode 19 of Service Entrance People. Thank you so very much for taking the time out to tune in. And if you have taken the time to listen, please do us a favor. Take the time to rate and review 5 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and leave some sort of worded review of our wordliness.
Yes, please just mash that like button and don't forget to press the predictive text button at least 5 times. You don't have to really write anything that makes any sort of sense. Just words. We need words because they push us up the charts, and we have no idea why that is, but they want you to engage and be like, I actually am listening and I'm not a robot. So do that.
Although, can't you at this point come up with AI that does?
No, they still
Random.
have weird shit that's like, click on this if you're not a robot. And I'm
I'm-
like, isn't there technology that could click on that
That's
if it
what I'm
was a
asking.
robot? It's
That's-
so weird.
That was literally what I was asking.
Okay, I have no idea. I don't even know where I am right now. I might be smelling toast, but I can tell you this. If you want to help out the show, aside from doing the likes and the words and all of that, send us a story and definitely please share the podcast. I can't stress that enough. Just one share on Facebook, which is Service Entrance People Podcast on Facebook. Just type it in the search bar there, look for one of my videos and just share it once. It's huge if you do stuff like that. Or you can message us with one of your stories. Or you can go to our email if you want to take a little bit more time, have a little bit more formal, drink your mommy juice and get it all out there. That's serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram at serviceentrancepeoplepod.
Girl, who's all up in your DM?
Hopefully people who are listening and liking this podcast. And if you want to leave us a voicemail, again, I promise you, Scout's honor, no one is going to pick up the phone. Just leave it. It's 854-345-7721.
If you have gotten off of a rough shift, it's been a day, you saw something crazy happen, just fucking talk it out, man.
Yeah, leave it there for us. Also, if you want to help out the show by being a producer whom we love.
We do. We love our producers. Go to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. Sign up to be any level of producer. You get free stuff. If you are an executive producer, you get free stuff. You get access to bonus episodes, and you get to hear your name right now. So we want to thank our executive producers, Chris Moore and Charles Cumberland. Thank you both very much.
Thank you. Chris Moore and Chuck Cumberland. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you would like to sponsor this program, we can
Hell yes.
totally do that.
Or a segment of the show, such as the Shifty of the Week.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever you would like, we'll test the products. We'll give you a verdict. We'll do whatever you need us to do with that.
We'll whore ourselves out for you.
Yeah, let us sell out for you.
We whore
for you. So just,
get in
it's
contact
ad
with
space
us
right here. And you can get in touch with us again. serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com. Contact us.
We won't bite, I promise, unless you're into that sort of thing, in
And
which
then-
case we bite so good.
You gonna wish we didn't bite so good.
Damn straight. And don't forget, Wednesdays, midnight East Coast time, new episodes of the show will arrive on your favorite streaming platform. So please tune us in, and we will talk to you again next week from the worldwide headquarters of Service Entrance People. Thank you for listening. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Adios.